This is one of the exemplary housemate contentions ever, and in spite of being such a little, senseless, seemingly insignificant detail, can drive individuals into a flat-out free-for-all of contending over it. The contention goes, should the bathroom tissue be kept with the turn looking out, or should the roll face in? This is a discussion that is regularly part more along sexual orientation lines, as men, who frequently are essentially standing up, find that it is more enthusiastically to arrive at that way and get irritated about the position, for the most part fixing it promptly afterwards. On the other hand, since ladies need to plunk down at any rate, many feel that they can arrive at fine, and that it likewise looks all the more tastefully satisfying, generally speaking, to the eye, to have everything concealed that way. Nonetheless, there are additionally a few ladies who are shorter and believe that tucking it inwards makes it too difficult to even think about getting to from a plunking down position. Regardless of how senseless this truly is, the majority of you are now considering how irate it makes you when somebody does it an inappropriate way. This is one that many individuals even blow up at eateries over. Numerous cafes, regardless of whether it isn't in fact against well-being codes, frequently store spread in the ice chest out of a wealth of alert, if nothing else, regardless of whether there are some sheltered conditions under which you can forget about it. These are the kind of individuals who vociferously contend that due to its fat substance, margarine is fine to forget about for a considerable length of time or days, and they despise with an energy attempting to spread cold butter. On the other hand, the keep the spread in the refrigerator swarm calls attention to that there are, despite everything, conditions under which it can turn sour outside of the ice chest speedier and simpler than you might suspect, and that it can rapidly go smelly, disturbing the taste regardless of whether it is all right to eat. For the individuals who approve of forgetting about it, there is constantly a combative contention about whether to cover it or not. A few people think leaving it revealed is fine and really makes it taste better, while others think it shields it from flies and from going rank. Who controls the thermostat? When is it hot enough for AC? Cold enough for heat? A great contention, and can get revolting truly quick. Presently, in many families, it is effectively enough chosen by the guardians, in spite of the fact that they may at present routinely quarrel over it, as ladies and men frequently have diverse center internal heat levels and respond distinctively to hot and cold. Among housemates, it can without much of a stretch become incredibly combative, particularly if there is more than one flatmate around who has distinctive temperature wants. While this can be a skirmish of the genders, it can likewise be an ungendered war. People will change the indoor regulator without asking others when they think it should be changed, and this can undoubtedly disturb another person. Women and men as well as all individuals see temperature somewhat better, and what may be perfect for another person, may require change for another. With the exception of those flatmates who just have divider units in their rooms and can set their own temperature, this is a contention you ought to hope to have on the off chance that you have flatmates, and attempt to work things out already so you see each other's needs and have an arrangement or procedure for everybody courteously adapting. Should the toilet be flushed every time, or only for bigger loads? This can be a major one relying upon the family, and can prompt a great deal of conflict if the individuals living respectively don't concede to this system. Fundamentally, the thought is that in the event that you need to spare water, you don't flush except if you have strong waste, or as the platitude goes, if it's yellow let it smooth, if it's darker flush it down. For the individuals who don't have a level expense for water, this can really be a serious sizable investment funds, as your latrine flush is effectively one of the greatest cash soaks in your whole home. Be that as it may, there are additionally counter-arguments. Essentially, there are many individuals who basically don't see the expanded investment funds as worth the potential smell. Presently, most houses who do this have almost no if any smell, and there are consistently deodorizers you can get for the washroom. However, a few people have progressively delicate noses and the entire thought truly annoys them. There are additionally the individuals who think not flushing each time is just gross and unsanitary, and you will most likely never get them to see it another way. Should unnecessary lights always be shut off to save on electricity costs? The two fathers and tie-fisted flatmates wherever are correct currently experiencing their homes to ensure lights are off. Some may have perused this title, and have just gone to ensure there are no lights squandering power in their home. They will ensure that except if it is genuinely fundamental, it is off, and they will chasten or even holler at individuals who don't adhere to these guidelines. These individuals feel that the power is being squandered and they are having cash removed from their pocket for reasons unknown. Undoubtedly, what makes a difference the most is utility, regardless of whether it is valuable at that time or not. However, there are additionally the aestheticists who feel that having more lights on really lights up the spot, lights up temperaments, can make it more averse to have mishaps since individuals didn't see also, and truly can cause a house or loft to feel like a home. These individuals would likewise contend that the investment fund's cost of continually keeping all the additional lights off is incredibly negligible, and worth the expenses in the event that it implies the steady improvement to their emotional well-being from having more lights around to appreciate. Should closet and other doors be kept open, or should they remain closed? This is one I had with one of my kin growing up, and as a little child, our reasons were obviously verifiably senseless. In all actuality, as meager children, the two of us were stressed over beasts in the storage room getting us around evening time. I felt that the entryways ought to stay shut, as we would know whether beasts were coming since they needed to open the entryways, and we wouldn't be befuddled in obscurity by garments and such looking like something alarming. Then again, my sibling felt that we could more readily observe the beasts coming if the entryway was open. Among grown UPS, this is normally progressively about stylish and comfort. A significant number of the more home-style cognizant feel that everything just looks so much better and neater with all the entryways pleasantly shut. Then again, the contrary perspective feels that the stuff can in any case be pleasantly shown with the entryways open, that it makes the house look progressively open, and makes the stuff increasingly helpful to get to. Unusually, a few people appear to be more weirded out by their flatmate's room entryway being open constantly, or the restroom entryway being shut/open when not being used. When should the soap be replaced? Is adding a little water to the dispenser okay? This is something incalculable kin and flatmates have quarreled over throughout the years, and it will probably be constantly a terrible, trivial little fight. The contention goes that whoever first makes the cleanser run out ought to either get another one, or top off it, contingent upon which applies, and keeping in mind that a great many people concur with this, there are likewise simply the lethargic bastards who will make a special effort to not wash their hands in the event that they need to abstain from being the one to supplant it. On the other hand, there are additionally the individuals who get to the base, and put in a little water to get out the rest of the cleanser. A few flatmates or housemates blow up about this, guaranteeing the individual ought to have quite recently supplanted it, rather than basically attempting to assist everybody with getting that last piece at the base. Presently, this contention bodes well in the event that you simply utilize a top-off container in any case to top off your cleanser gadget. However, on the off chance that you get another one each time, it truly makes sense to get all the last from the base. The toilet seat, should it be up or down? Or on the other hand, should the whole cover be down? Okay, the kin situate. The deep-rooted contention that will never under any circumstance, ever end. The individuals who live with more ladies are bound to put it down without really thinking, and the individuals who live around more men or barely any ladies are bound to keep it up. Indeed, this discussion frequently isolates for the most part around sexual orientation lines. Ladies are worried about the possibility that if the latrine seat isn't put down, they may go to the restroom when their eyes are changing in accordance with the light, and unintentionally sit in the can. Folks counter this by bringing up that they need to crap in the night themselves here and there, and plunk down, and they maintain a strategic distance from this issue by really looking before sitting down. Guys likewise feel they are being approached to accomplish additional work for reasons unknown, just so as to fulfill somebody who should look before they jump. Then again, there are some who have thought of a trade-off position that expresses that the whole top ought to consistently be down. This guarantees, male or female, the two individuals need to do a similar measure of work to arrangement before they go, and nobody can fall in the can unintentionally. It likewise guarantees that in the event that you have pets, they won't get their fluffy little selves debilitated drinking out of the can. Obviously for a few, this trade-off will never be sufficient. The blinds, should they be up or down? This is another famous contention and can apply to window hangings or shades just as blinds. Numerous a housemate has contended about the fact that it is so imperative to keep blinds open or shut, and there are different explanations behind the specific contentions. A few people are essentially stressed over security, and infrequently like blinds or window ornaments to be open by any stretch of the imagination. A few people trust it causes the sun to get the house excessively warm, and too difficult to even think about heating, or the like. However, clearly you can envision comparative contentions on the contrary side. A few people feel they are just briefly, or if nothing else relying upon the room, not so much hindering security genuinely, and they like to have the option to see out and appreciate the view effectively without moving the blinds inevitably. They may likewise contend that the sun coming in is advantageous at specific seasons and cuts down warming expenses. On the third hand, however, there are those less everyday citizens who will contend with you about what direction the blinds should confront, and at what time of day, year, or sun arrangement, they should kept rearranged or ordinary. Would it be a good idea for you to stare into the fridge deciding, or look really fast, close it and decide? This is one I for one ran into as a child, and it is something that power-sparing guardians or housemates have been pestering for a considerable length of time. A few people will open up the cooler, and just remain there examining it, taking a gander at all the different things inside and attempting to choose what they need to make or eat. At the point when I did this as a child, I was regularly advised by my father to close the entryway, and consider what I had seen and choose what I needed to eat as opposed to leaving it draping open to cost electricity. Of course, similar to all housemate contentions, there is the contrary side. There are the individuals who have heard this contention, yet basically oppose this idea. They feel by memory they will be not able to settle on the best choice, and that they will, if nothing else, need to continue reviving it quickly to recollect what was there, which may really cost cash by and large. They would likewise concur that the vitality being spent most likely adds up to pennies a month, and isn't worth especially agonizing over. The thing is, however, a few housemates care about each penny of conceivable vitality reserve funds. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.